thought they were crazy and he looked for a fight.
God loves me. God loves me. All the hooves are loved by God, so God loves me. God loves me. God loves me. Even when I make mistakes, my God loves me.
God doesn't love me. I don't think he is there. Look at all those who's with their hands in the air, worshiping Jesus who doesn't exist. Christmas is just an excuse to buy gifts.
I think the real reason, most of all, was the Grinch's heart was 2 sizes too small. Sad and alone, as years had gone by, the Grinch thought that Jesus was all just a lie.
But whatever the reasons, the present to the ruse, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the who's, staring down from his cave with a sour goodry frown at the warm-lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every who down who beneath was busy now hanging a mistletoe wreath.
And they're setting up presents,
he said with a sneer.
Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here.
Then he grabbed with Grinch fingers, nervously drumming.
I must find some way to stop Christmas from coming.
For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early to rush for the toys, and then...
Oh, the noise!
Oh,
oh the noise!
That's one thing he hated, the noise.
Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast.
And they'd feast.
On the first hill of Christmas, just who made for me a big giant rainbow roast feast.
And they'd feast.
On the second hill of Christmas, just who made for me 2 scoops of blue pudding and a big giant rainbow roast feast.
And they'd feast.
On the third hill of Christmas, just who made for me 3 cans of blue hash, 2 scoops of blue pudding and a big giant rainbow roast feast.
They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which was something the Grinch couldn't stand in the least. And then they did something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Seville, the tall and the small, would stand close together, church bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing.
And they'd sing.
And they'd sing.
Come adore on bended knee, Christ the Lord, the newborn King.
And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought.
I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 3 years I put up with this now. I must stop this Christmas from coming. But how?
Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what I'll do.
The Grinch laughed in his throat and made a quick Santa Claus hat and coat. Then he chuckled and glowed.
What a great Grinchy trick. With this coat and this hat, I'll look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer.
The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found. Did that stop the old Grinch? No. The Grinch simply said,
If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
so he called his dog Max.
Max!
Then he took some red thread and he tied a big horn on the top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks on a ramshackle sleigh. Then he hitched up old Max.
Giddy up, Max! Pull the slam down towards the homes where the Who's laid a snooze in their town.
All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were dreaming sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square.
This is house number 1. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Ha ha ha!
The old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight fit, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or 2. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings were hung in a row.
These stockings, I say, are the first thing to go. These Who say they're good, they say that they tried, then why do they argue, steal things, and lie? They do what they want to all the time, then show up on Christmas and think they're all right. This season is a perfect example of how goody they are. Just look at this sample.
Then he slithered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Popguns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorn and plums, and he stuffed them in bags, one by one up the chimney. Then he slapped at the icebox, he took the Who's Feast, he took the food pudding, he took the roast feast. Then he cleaned out the icebox as quick as a flash, when the Grinch even took the last can of her hat.
One more left. I have stuffed all the food up the chimney. Yippee! Now it's time to stuff up the tree.
And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like a coo of a dove. He turned around fast and noticed a pair of little girls who should not have been there.
What's going on here? They should be snoozing. It's Christmas Eve. This is so confusing. I'll creep a little closer and see what they're doing.
But the Grinch couldn't believe the sight he was viewing. The two little girls were kneeling by their beds, but visions of sugar plums were in their heads. The girls were not playing like he originally thought. Their heads were bowed and they were praying to God.
Praying? Oh dear, I'll just blink my eyes and it'll all disappear. Little kids are not thankful. They're full of disgrace. Oh well, while I'm here, I'll just grab this vase.
But he paused as he heard one little girl squeak, and he listened for the voice, quiet and weak.
And one more thing, Jesus, we've already prayed, thanking you for the great things you have done, and thank you for dying and being our Savior, and ask that you forgive all of our behaviors. But if we may, we have one more request. It's the Grinch, dear Lord. I'm sure you have this.
Some people say that he is no good, that he is really mean, but I wonder if he is as bad as he seems.
And others, they say, he doesn't know you, Lord, but some say he used to. Then he got bored.
Or maybe he is confused and doesn't understand your grace, your compassion, your mercy so grand. Please help us, dear Lord, to love everybody, especially the Grinch, even though he is naughty, and open his eyes to help his spirit grow, so that we may have the same love as we already know.
The Grinch paused in a quiet voice.
So this Grinch has a choice? If God is real, how come I've never heard his voice?
The tiny two daughters, after all been said, thanked the Lord and jumped into bed. The Grinch thought hard about what he had heard and decided it was absurd. God is not real and God does not care, and it was time to get out of there.
The last thing he took was the log for their fire, then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire, and the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. Then he did the same thing to the other whose houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other whose mouses.
The Grinch strolled past the front lawn of the church. Looking for goodies, he began to search.
There's nothing good here outside this old place.
He scanned the front porch and started to pace, for the flowers and rugs all mixed space, but not the nativity would waste. If Jesus is real, he said with a frown, then why was he born where animals lay down? And then he remembered Jesus is not real, so he turned to his sled and looked up the hill.
It was 1/4 dawn, all the who's still abed, all the who's still asnooze when he packed up his sled. He packed it up tight with their presents, the wrappings, the ribbons, the tags, the tin full of trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip-top to dump it.
Pooh-pooh to the who's.
He was grinchishly humming.
They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open for a minute or two. Then all the who's down in Whoville will cry boo-hoo. That's the noise I say I simply must hear.
So he paused and the Grinch put his hand to his ear, and he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started out low, then it started to grow.
Doris, welcome. Jesus, bring your cheer. Forest, Doris, welcome. All who need to hear. Welcome, Jesus, Salutamus. Welcome, Jesus, Salutamus. Jesus' love will always be here for you and here for me.
But the sound wasn't sad, why the sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville, the Grinch popped his eyes. Then he shook. What a shocking surprise. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing, without any presents at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or another, it came just the same.
Thank you, dear Lord, for your gifts from above. You sent down your Son full of goodness and love, and through him the better life you have given, so one day we may all join in heaven.
And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes, or bags.
And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzler was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe this season doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more. Where are you, Jesus? Why can't I find you? Where have you been, Lord? Can you still hear me? Why can't I hear you say, my world is changing, I'm rearranging. Does that mean you will change too? Where are you, Jesus? Do you remember the one you used to know? I'm not the same one. See what the time's done. Is that why you have let me
If there is love in your heart, in your mind, you will feel God's presence all the time.
I feel you, Jesus. I know I felt you. You'll never fade away.
The love of Jesus stays here inside us, fills each and every heart with love.
And what happened then? Well, and who will they say that the Grinch's heart grew 3 sizes that day? He bowed his head and offered a prayer, and the Grinch found salvation right then and right there. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and and he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
Why don't we sing it all together?
That's a great idea. Everybody stand up. No, I'm serious. Stand up.
Forest of Doris, welcome Christmas, come this way.